Hi, everybody. Shane R. Monroe here, and welcome to the early morning live stream of the game Forspoken. This game has got to be the most infamous game that's come out this year so far, and frankly, a lot of people don't like the game, and there's plenty not to like about the game. We're going to go through the game, see how it runs on the Steam Deck, go over my settings, and of course, I will give you my personal thoughts on where the game falls very, very short and where it actually might be a decent game at the right price or maybe the right scenario. So, welcome everybody to the live stream this morning. Very, very exciting. I've spent, as you can see, I've spent closing in on 10 hours with this game. I played the demo as well, so pretty close to 10 hours altogether. And so, yeah, I think I'm in a good spot to be able to give you guys a good idea as to how the game plays and what you should be looking for. Should you get it? Should you not get it? Well, we're going to answer that question. I'm going to do my best to avoid any spoilers because the game does have a storyline, but I can't make any promises. So if you're one of those folks that are really concerned about keeping the storyline pure, this might not be the stream for you. But again, I'm going to do my very, very best to avoid that problem. If I could get somebody in the chat room right now to give me a little audio check, make sure you guys can hear the game and can hear me. Just a little audio testing. That'd be great. Okay. But we'll go ahead and get started. Those of you who are coming late to the live stream can catch up. Okay, so welcome to Forsaken. This is the game. We are, as I said, about 9.5 hours into the game. I am an exploring completionist for the most part, so I have spent a lot of time walking everywhere in the land, trying to collect everything, see everything, do everything possible. We're not going to go over there for now. So that's maybe you could finish this game in 9 hours. I don't know, but based on the way that I play the game, not finished in that number of hours. Let's see here. I just want to make sure the chat didn't get stuck again. I know that this was a problem.
This looks so different from Geneva.
Okay, so let's start off with what this game is. This game starts off as a very, very guided experience. In other words, you're going to watch a lot of cutscenes. You're going to do, sort of what I would call half-assed interactions. Basically, nothing more than to get the storyline out of the way, to get started, and then eventually you'll get to here, which is what I call Fantasyland. Oops, I'm in danger here. Something's stalking me. Where? I'll see it. Could be those birds over there. All right, I'm going to try to stay away from combat for just a minute. Let me go somewhere where I know it's fairly safe. Okay, this should be good over here. Well, maybe not. There's birds everywhere. All right, let me go over here where we can be a little safer. Anything to kick my butt now? No. Okay, good. Okay, so you get to the Fantasyland, and listen, there's the first problem with this game is, well, let's be honest, the storyline kind of sucks. The writing is extraordinarily subpar. The dialogue is even worse. This character is the least sympathetic character I've ever played in a video game. Not an anti-hero, not somebody like Deadpool or somebody that's, not necessarily the best person, but you learn to commiserate with them. No. What we have here is the most unlikable character ever, and I'm 10 hours in and I still don't like her. So, all of the reviews you may have read about the dialogue sucks, the story sucks, the characters suck, so far, all true. So, what else is wrong with the game, right? So, what else is wrong with the game is the dialogue is very repetitive. Like that Newark joke, I've heard that like 30 times since I've been playing, and it's still old.
Stay frosty. Got it.
I am also using a different controller. I'm using the Stadia controller for the live stream once again. And frankly, it's not the greatest controller. At some point, I need to get a good quality Xbox Elite controller on here for these live streams. I still don't see anything in the chat. I'm starting. Oh, there we go, Chris. Thanks. Good. I'm glad somebody can confirm. I know it's early morning, and a lot of people probably aren't tuning in. So, okay. So, yeah, the game's kind of a mess, and it didn't help that it came out at the same time that a whole bunch of other anticipated titles like Dead Space and that new Hogwarts game is coming out. Blah blah blah. So, it probably wasn't the best time to release a so-so title, and the fact that the game cost $69.99, $70. This is not a $70 game. I'll tell you right now, the Shane R. Monroe price is $29.99, at least at this point. Maybe it gets considerably better later on, but right now this is a $30 game at best. Okay, so enough of the chit-chat. Oh, my chat has a delay too? Damn it. You know, I cannot get one of these things go. Hello. I guess we should get some combat going here in a minute. That sucks. It's not. I mean, maybe I should stop and restart the stream. What do you think, Chris? Is it bad enough that I should stop and restart? I'm going to do that. If it's that bad. I'll wait until we see what he says.
I don't like the look of this.
Nope. My butt spanked while I'm sitting here looking at the chat. Let me get somewhere where I can't get my buttons spanked. There we go. Unless the birds show up. Yeah, I think it's a YouTube thing. Okay, I'm going to stop and I'll restart the stream here in just a moment. Stand by to stand by. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Okay, so we should be back online here. YouTube tells me I have an excellent connection. Chris, if you can give me a little, you can give me a audio check here.
Why the hell not?
You know what? I'm just going to reload the game. I don't want to have to, I want to have to go back and deal with all this again. Okay. Okie dokie. All right, so we're going to go ahead and restart. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to just go ahead and... I went ahead and closed out of OBS and went back in, so hopefully that'll calm things down a little bit. Okay, so we now know why the game completely is probably not the greatest title of all time. So what about the game is decent? Well, there's a lot to see and there's a lot to do. For those of you who are hardcore explorers, the map is absolutely huge. I haven't even scratched the surface of apparently how much content that there is in this game. Here's another problem on Steam Deck. Do you see how long it takes to load? It takes a long time. And when you zoom in, every time that you do something on this bar, this selection bar, it takes bloody forever. And even the map, I'm not even sure the map, if you zoom in, doesn't hang because I end up having to back out and go back in. So I don't know if that's really something that's broken or whether it's... Look at this load time. Look at the time it takes between moving around the menus. So if I go back into the map again, it just sits here. And the same thing happens for magic and gear and resources. So it's like... I don't know what it's doing, if it's swapping or what. But let me zoom out so you can kind of get an idea as to what this map world looks like. There's a lot going on here. These are the areas I've covered, and there's a whole lot of stuff that I have not yet covered. And you can see it's actually loading as I'm scrolling the map around. So my guess is not super well optimized. I mean, this is ridiculous that you have to wait for the map to load to scroll around. But there's a lot to see and there's a lot to do, so that's pretty cool. The other positive piece of the game is that it's not an overindulgence of crafting and things of that nature. It's very lightweight, so it's got the RPG pieces of the game that you might want, but without a ton of overhead. Everything is pretty much mana, health. So essentially, let me go ahead and show you what we have access to here. Let me see. Okay, so this is these are your support spells that you have access to. I think you have access to most of these up front. But you have things like surrounding yourself with stone and sending out a big like an octopus vine, binding your enemies, implanting fire seeds. It's all kind of hippie. Magical poison plants, blah, blah, blah. So these are all the things I use bind like all the time, right? I just bind my enemies and then I go whoop their butts. On the other side of the equation is your active magic, or what you use for weaponry: scatter shot, burst shot, shield shot. It's, I don't know. There's not a lot going on here. But you also have the parkour part of the equation. So it's supposed to be magic meets parkour. And so when you see me running around normal, and I can also run, but you also have parkour magic that would allow you to use the B button. You can see anytime you get the little glowing around you, that's your parkour magic going on. And dang it, there's people everywhere. Good lord. I was trying not to do combat yet, so let's just get out of here.
Well, do something.
All right, so let's stop for just a second and take a look at the. It's almost like all the enemies respawn, or maybe I'm not using the right save spot. Okay, so if we why can't I see the bottom of that? Oh, bad news. All right, let's go look at the magic then. We looked at the map. Let's take a look at what we have from a magic point of view while we're in here. And again, I don't know if it does all of this on the PC, but I sure know it does it on the deck. So what we're seeing here are all the different spells that we saw earlier: disperse and bind, tendril. These are the sorts of things we saw there. And then over here you have your more active magic, your burst shot, your shield shot, all that sort of thing. As you find books, as you travel throughout the land, they allow you to set an emphasis on I think it's 3 different spells per book. So right now I'm trying to enhance these spells that have these little diamonds on them. So right now I've got quests to do. Kill a certain number of enemy with a certain type of weapon in a certain kind of way, and it will enhance that particular spell. So it's a little bit different in that aspect, and I kind of like that. There's something interesting and unique about that. But you can only have 3 going at a time, and you have to find a book to start them. So I finished one book, right? And then I finished one of the 3 I got from the next book, and now I've got 2 that are still pending. So it's not like you get skill points and you have to assign the skill points. So bravo for them trying something different. I appreciate that. So we have gear, and right now I have a cloak and a necklace. Honestly, I don't know. I've been playing this for 10 hours, and these are the only 2 types of items that I've gotten. So let's go into the cloak, and I've got a few cloaks with me. And if I go, if you look at the cloaks, they have parameters around them that you would expect: health, stamina, healing powers, magical prowess, right? And so you can actually go in. You can see I have there under elite, it says there are 3 items: purple magic, defense, and attack boosted. You can actually go in and change those. They're like gem slots, right? Basically, they're gem slots on your weaponry. So you get 3 of them. You can change them around based on items that you harvest throughout the world. And so I've got a good one of those, and I've got a necklace. And the necklace, as you can see, extra purple magic, good health, good stamina, blah, blah, blah. And as you look, you can see the differences as I've improved. Defense is a little better here, but more health here. So nails are interesting. These are yet another sort of passive magic in the game. So you can actually, you don't get these right away, by the way. You have to find a book or something that teaches you how to do this. But essentially, the way that you paint your nails, and I kind of like it. There's sort of a tribal thing. I kind of dig that tribal magic. Other than the fact that you're painting a girl's nails to give her powers, that's kind of weak. But the concept that it's sort of tribal in nature, that's kind of cool, right? And so based on the resources that you have is how you can paint your nails. And you consume these resources each time you use it, right? So you have these different sorts of things that you can assign to paint your nails. See, Chris says, this screams Steam Weekend for $24.99. Dude, you're dead on. This is a $25, $29 game, depending on how much you really want to play it. Resources, of course, are just like anything else. Every other game that you've ever played, these are all the items you've collected on the way. Blah, blah, blah. You can only carry so many until you extend the carrying ability. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing unusual here. The little poppets you can trade in town with the villager. But you can see these are all sort of crafting supplies. And I'll set up a camp, and we'll go over the whole camp and crafting and upgrade process for you as well. Archive is just that. It tells you about stuff that you've learned over time. And, of course, your journal is what you're supposed to be doing. I don't want to spend too much time in there because it might give away plot points. Okay, so let me see. I haven't checked the stream, how many people we got in here. I want to make sure I'm welcoming folks. We only have 3 this morning. That's okay. I didn't give a whole lot of warning, and this isn't a game for everybody. Most people have already sort of made up their mind they're not interested in this title, and I do not blame them because the reviews are mostly right. Okay, so now you've seen that. Now look down at the bottom. Can I pause it? Damn it. I was trying to keep that bar up. And so if you look at the bottom down there, it shows how many health potions you currently have, or healing draughts. You have those 4 diamonds, which represent how much parkour magic that you've used. And the longer that you use it, the more that it chews through your bar. And again, listen, this game does have a couple of neat little unique ideas, and I kind of dig them. Unfortunately, it's wrapped in a really nasty, boogery candy shell. So your parkour magic you build up over time. You start off with just being able to do basic jumps, but as you eventually advance your magic, you'll be able to do cool things like these cool jumps and leaps and bounds, and it's actually cool. I mean, there's nothing at all wrong with the parkour piece of the equation. It's fun, it's interesting, and it does have limits on it, so that you do have to play nice. Now, if you look over on the right-hand side, this is your purple magic area. You can see in the bottom right part of the triangle, I'm yelling over myself. Let me turn my audio down. On the bottom right triangle, that shows your current spell mana cast for casting basic spells, your weaponry spells. And then on the right, you can see that I'm ready to do a bind. That fills up very, very slowly. As you can see, the scatter or the burst shot here works fast and quick, and it also has charge up time, so the longer you hold the button, whang, right? So you can improve that over time. Of course, I've upgraded a little bit, but now something I find really interesting, and I'm not going to be able to talk about it while I'm doing combat, but if you look over on the see on the right there, it says grade, star, and experience points and drop rate, all that stuff. To me, this is the strength of this title. The combat is the strength of the title because they've taken a sort of unique approach to it where diversity in combat actually gets you a better score and better drops. So if you find a spell that is OP, like say this one, right? If this is too OP and you figured out a way to kite and use, they're not going to give you good drops. You're not going to get a lot of experience. You're not going to go further in the game. They want you to use combinations, and the combinations of spells include passive spells, active spells, as well as parkour, right? They want you to use parkour magic while you're casting spells. They want you to use them in combo. They want you to use them in series. They want you to have a diversity of them, and the more you do that, the better off your rewards will be. I dig on that. You'll also see at the top of this pyramid there is an icon that's not yet ready. That is sort of like your super zapper, right? I mean, that is your OMG, I'm going to kill everything in my path type spell. You can see it takes a very long time to charge. I don't even have it ready yet, but probably for the first combat, I'll have that ready and you'll be able to see it. I'll do my best to tell you when I'm going to use it, so things get a little chaotic there. You're probably wondering about how the game looks. Yeah, there's some nasty pop-in and foliage type stuff going on. The closer you get to something, the better it looks. I haven't played around with settings a ton, but see, look at how that tree in front of me is like primitives, and the closer you get to it, and eventually, that's weird. Maybe it's looking at my level or something. Eventually, it should pop in. Yeah, see, it starts to come in a little bit. I will tell you though that you're looking at this at 1080. Honestly, this game looks a lot better when you're playing it on. See, look at that. See, they're starting to come in as I get closer. But when you're playing this on 720, 800p, you're not going to care. And to be honest with you, the graphics aren't that unique anyway, right? I mean, there's not. See, there you go. I got closer, and whatever. I mean, you're not missing anything graphically by this particular lower resolution type play. So that's good for the Steam Deck. So let's go over a couple of elements before I jump into battle here. I think I covered everything down here. Yeah, the bar at the bottom right there is your health meter, right? And you do have a ping effect, right? Just like all the other games. If you press up on the D-pad, it pings out and it shows you items of interest within your immediate area.
And because this place is insane.
We've already asked about the Newark thing yet again. The dialogue is extraordinarily repetitive. You're going to hear the same thing. Oops, sorry, different controller. You're going to hear the same things over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where you almost just want to turn the dialogue off. And I think a couple of the reviews have actually said that. So these little glowing things are your magic boosts. So as you pick these up, you'll see that I get an additional item. It goes, now I'm at 80, and if I get this next one, it'll be 81. Eventually. So these basically open up new magic skills. So the more of these that you gather, the more magic skills that you'll get, or magic abilities. These are scattered frickin' everywhere. And so this is one of the pieces that keeps you exploring, right? And they're everywhere. They do show up with a ping, which is nice. And I think I've got most of them over here, but there's probably one or two strays that I haven't picked up yet. There are all sorts of extra stuff, right? So this is sort of like... this is a tower, so if you go in here, this gives you sort of an overview of the area to scan your surroundings, which is kind of cool. So it's like a super ping that gives you a little bit better idea of what's around. So you could set a waypoint. There's a photo spot, which is cool. I did not see that before. I'll probably have to run over there and get that, because it's cool. And then there's more stuff beyond the horizon over there that I haven't been to yet. But my current goal is to is over here. Say there's my current journey location. Yeah, so you got these. So you got the towers. That's something kind of different. Sort of different, right? You also have shrines, and I think there was a shrine that I saw. I've already used though, unfortunately. But there are shrines that give you bonuses, sort of like on Witcher 3, where you find the shrine and it gives you +5 health, or +2 this, or +1 that. And you also have locked labyrinths that you can go into and do sort of like mini quests. And then there's another mini quest that has you going into an area full of bad guys, and you've got to kill them all before the timer runs out. So it's sort of like a mini game, and that's cool too. I mean, like I said, this game isn't a complete crap fest, but man, it's trying hard to be. I'll tell you that. Some buildings you can go into, some you can't. There's really not much else I don't think there's much else to say. We've covered everything, I think, at this point. What we need to do now is talk about the strengths of the game, which is, of course, the combat. There was a photo opportunity over here somewhere. I don't want to do anything mission related, but unfortunately I've cleared this area out a lot. There's plenty of bad guys to kill, though, as evidenced by earlier. Go on parkour here. Do a ping. I thought there was a photo op over here. I wanted to get to it. Oh, there we go. There's some bad guys. Let's do that.
Yeah.
You sense a hostile presence. Okay, so bad guys usually come in the form of... There we go. This is interesting. They will fight amongst themselves, by the way. I like that, too. I mean, that's not unique to this game, but certain monsters that are hostile will actually fight amongst themselves, and you can use that to your advantage. You sit up and watch, and they eventually kick each other's butt. There are also these little hostile things over here. Let me go over here. Not like hostile monsters, but hostiles like take a break hostiles. This is good. Let's just jump over here real quick. There is fast travel. I'm not going to probably do much. Damn it. Probably not going to do much of it here. I mean, I could go into town and show you around, I suppose. But, again, it's standard town stuff. I always pick the wrong way to go around these things. All right. So let's go in here, and every one of these hostels is the same deal. There's a couple things to pick up on the table. There's a few healing draughts over here. And, of course, you have a crafting table and a bed. You rest and you regain all your health. Oh, these little books here, by the way, and I've already used this one, but there's little books here like ledgers where people have signed in to use the hostel, and it opens up new areas on the map, or at least it shows you where there's new spots on the map, which I thought was actually kind of cool, too.
Thinking of making something?
Okay, so you got two options when you find a crafting table. You have crafting and upgrade. Let's go to upgrade first. All right, so we sort of talked about this earlier, but some of you who just tuned in maybe didn't get an opportunity to see. So once you're in here, you can actually choose what you might want to improve, right? So right now I've got purple magic +2, which is this guy. It's only showing me the items that I have the resources, right? So you can't apply the same effect twice, right? Let me see, what else do we have here? Surge magic recharge rate boost. Killer blows use less stamina. You get the idea, right? Okay. And, you know, the same thing with the, it's the same thing with the necklace, right? You can choose those 3 spots. Use the items that you've collected. Crafting is not super entertaining either. Essentially increasing your medicine pouch capacity, which is great. I need to do that. Perfect. And then that gives me the opportunity to carry more healing draughts. So now I can carry 1 extra healing draught. And you build these things, and then these things will let you build other things, right? So right now there's not a ton of crafting or interesting things going on regarding that, but that's sort of what you got. Improve your stuff, make healing draughts, that sort of thing. All right, so we've been over the long and short of it. Let's go and get our hands dirty a little bit. Pick up these extra magic pickups here. I swear to God, I picked everything up in this region. I don't know why. There's still some stuff I haven't, but okay, that's fine. All right, so we got some birds. Those are probably not as much fun to... Oh, here we go. This would be perfect. All right, so standard deal. You can go nice and slow, and they might not see you for a while, so you might get the first strike advantage. I'm going to cast the binding spell on those 2,
Gotcha.
and then I'm just going to start pounding on them. See, I got the first strike. It shows whether they're vulnerable to this type of magic or not.
Does that make things a little easier?
And of course, if you do cool stuff with your parkour, then you actually get additional damage. And you see how my
Ready for this?
my grade changes or would change based on how I'm playing. There's nothing really hard here, so I really don't have to use a whole ton of parkour magic on these guys. Or do magic while I'm parkouring.
I think that's all of them.
Okay,
Seems
so
like it.
they all
Nice
died,
work.
and they dropped something based on how well I did. And so this item will be... Actually, that's a
nice
good
find.
item. That's a nice find. So they rewarded me for good combat, and I really enjoy that. I like that concept. So let's see. Let's go mess with the birds. They're a little harder. Well, not harder. They just move around a lot more. I didn't get a chance to. Now you can use. You can click in on the right stick and it'll target for you. Oh, he sees me. Good. Let's get some action going on. Let me get up higher where I can see him.
Right on the money.
I don't like the look of this.
Use your parkour to dodge. You'll get points for that. Look at that. Oh, I lost. See how I lost points? Now I got a B rating for that because I took a hit. And my drop, wherever that drop went, is going to be lesser or none because I suck, right? I did not do as well as I could have. We'll do a quick ping here, make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. Let's go find a long red. Oh, what's down there? I didn't see that before. Let's see what we got going on down. While the world is very, very large and very, very open, fortunately that parkour running around stuff makes it a lot quicker to move around. Good. Now, there was a big bad guy that I ran into.
Looks like
that
the
I thought
coast
I'd
is
killed
clear.
before.
Let's not get careless.
You know how many times I've heard "let's not get careless"? A lot. Here we go. There's some bigger guys.
Get out of the way.
All right, let me use that
Now's your
super
chance.
OMG, look at them all die thing. Hang on. Let me kite them around a little bit. Let me get them where they're lined up. Yeah, pretty cool. You get points for dodging their
Got you on
attacks with
your
parkour
toes
and all
now.
that good stuff. That still took a nasty amount of I lost a lot of points for that. At least it's a B.
Ooh.
I enjoy the combat. There was one point in here where there was a whole village of those bad guys. It was like a 10-minute frag fest. It was fun. Jumping around, hopping off of the ledges, targeting them, shooting them down with your, magic. Tons of fun. I mean, the combat is definitely where this game shines. And unfortunately, there's not as much to do here because I've cleaned them all out. But some of these seems to have respawned, so maybe I can find a nice big collection of baddies to give a little marathon session. I have collected these. So weird. Maybe I lost a save somewhere and I don't know it. Oops. Yeah,
Might as well pocket this.
Okay. Do a little ping here and see if there's any. And I could go to some different area that I haven't. Oh, there we
Be
go.
ready to protect yourself.
I
What do we got?
will.
What do we got?
Here.
Anybody big? Big and scary? Ah, just converted villagers. That's go down pretty easy. It didn't start that way, of course.
Oh,
Where did he come from? Hello.
we got this.
I paid the penalty because I got hit. Somebody behind me? Yep. Hello. Let's see if I can find something where I get to do a finishing move because that's kind of fun. Nothing unique or new in that, mind you, but. Let's see if I remember right. If my direction sense is good. Up you go. Oh, I'm out of stamina or parkour magic, whatever that is. I'm out of it. Okay, let's see. There was a path over here to the left. Someplace I oh, look at that. Big guy. Oh, I don't have a passive spell ready. Here they come. Dang it, I thought I dodged that too. I blame this controller. Okay, that one's my fault. Heal, heal, heal. It's so weird I don't have my secondary spell ready yet. In the end, not that hard, but I got a D. Bad dude. I blame the controller mostly. I've gotten pretty adept at this stuff, so. Yeah, so up here is where, like, there were tons and tons of bad guys. It was just, like, fleets of them. It was awesome. Now, I have not been up here, so this is a new area for me. So let's explore a little bit together. What's that? Okay. Oh, there they are. Holy crap. Now let's have some fun.
Not the pep talk I needed.
Wow. Awesome. Look at this. This is like shooting fish in a barrel. This is great.
That went well.
You bet it did. That asshole's going nowhere.
Boom! Told you. The game's combat is definitely where it shines. Nope, not you. Dang it, they're everywhere. It's cool. See, the frame rate's taking a hit at this. Oh, dang it! There's a guy behind me. I was gonna get a nice big fatty charge here. Oh, there was a guy that was down. I could have done a finishing move on him. Too many of them.
For my next
And
trick.
halt. Oh. Dang it. I threw it above. The throws on this controller are different. Oh, look at that. I probably could have made better use of that. Need to charge that hold one more time. My bind. Boom! Told you, combat's fun. Especially when you get a big bunch of them like this. Better if I was using the deck.
Incoming.
Hold's almost ready. My bind. Dang it!
Until you're ready.
Thought I overdid it.
See the spellcraft in the upper left? That means I've done something that they wanted me to do to advance one of my magical spells. Again, part of the game I like.
Now's your chance.
Oh, there's that guy. Final hit. Come on, get him. Yes. They want you to do that. Perform killer blows. I like the fact that they call them killer blows. I don't know why that.
Done
entertains
and
me.
done.
Hardly one for the history books.
There you go. Lots of goodies dropped,
Not
of
much, but
course.
you never know.
That was fun. I'm glad we got an opportunity to have a big swarm like that. Pick up my loot. Alright, so like I said, I have not been up here yet. I went up here just to see what the tower was over there. What's up there? I recognize that icon. Let's go take a peek. Up. Calm down. Oh, I thought that was a bad guy for
No
a second.
monsters here, huh?
Were you hoping for a little?
Hey, Partha. All the way out here.
Well, Frey, feeling lucky today?
Oh, it's the roll the bones thing. Yeah, so this is one of those. This must mean there's something really big and scary coming. Basically, you get to roll the bones, and you get some sort of a reward based on how the bones
Guess
land.
it's my lucky day. Hey.
That's kind of cool. Well protected, right? So that's one of those other additional magic add-ons for you. Another hostile. Nice. That gives me an opportunity for you guys to see one that hasn't been used yet. New fast travel destination. Again, you get your crafting table. That's weird, there's no text here. Oh, here we go. Here's the guest book, if you will. And then, of course, it has to load the map. And then you get some additional places. See, look at that. I mean, there's a whole bunch of areas of the map that I have not yet seen. You can place a marker there if you want. And then the marker shows up as a waypoint, just like every other game. Blah, blah, blah. Now, the load times loading up these secondary screens is miserable. As you can see. I don't need to rest right now. I just wanted to come in here and see what it looked like. And I think before I go mindlessly charging up that hill, I'm going to go ahead and save the game since I have been doing some decent work here. But I do want to just recklessly run headlong up the stairs, upstate here and see what I got. Thing never hurt though.
Let me guess. Bad guys nearby?
Got it in one.
Good guess. What do we got? Standard bad guys or anything cool? Looks like more or less standard bad guys.
How are you feeling?
A whole lot better than I did a minute ago.
Recklessly just charge headlong up here and see what's going on, if anything. Birds. Seen it. Just curious what's over here now. Oh, here's another one of those tower thingies. Might as well use it. There's one of those little temple, the monuments, yeah, that give you a stat increase. Okay, well, that's enough of that. So for me, I definitely favor frame rate over visual prowess. I mean, this sort of game, you want this thing to be running as fast as possible. So let's take a quick peek. I did say that we'd take a look at the settings and what you had available to you as options. Let's see. So essentially, this is where I've got things set up here. Again, nothing exciting. Pretty much standard stuff. And I've played with these a lot. And while what we saw isn't great, it seems to be This seems to be one of the best that I could come up with. I definitely have this set for performance. If you crank it up a little bit, you're going to take a hit on your frame rate for sure. But there's plenty of people have offered some different settings for this that, you know, based on what you're looking for, maybe you would want to monkey with the settings a little bit. There's something cool about just being able to kick around this place, just, you know, not on rails, not just doing a quest or doing something, but just running around, gathering. You know, a lot of people are looking for a game they can just drop in for 15 or 20 minutes, do a couple things, and then feel like they've accomplished something, and you can kind of do that here. I will show the camp here in just a minute. I've already saved, so I won't save again because the firewood's a little rare. But
this
you
thing
get this,
is dead, right?
Give it a kick and make sure, maybe.
So if you hold down on the D-pad long enough, see I've only got one piece of firewood left. These are hard to find. Essentially, they let you set up a hostel wherever you want.
That's what made it so perfect.
But you don't get a lot of them.
Soldiers.
They don't seem to come around, and I haven't figured out a way to get unlimited ones or to somehow build firewood. Got nothing. So you can craft, rest, and leave, right? So you can craft, which is the same stuff we saw at the hostel. Rest is the same thing as getting into a bed, but if there's enemies around, they could attack you while you're resting. So standard stuff.
Okay.
So waste of a piece of firewood there, but that's okay. But that's it. I mean, there's really nothing else to show here. Obviously, there are bigger enemies. There are sort of like mini bosses. I haven't been up against like OMG 20 minutes of combat type scenario, so I can't really speak to what a full-on boss fight might look like. But I can tell you that there is. Okay, listen. Like I said before when I started this thing, this is not a $70 game. It is a $30 game at best. As Wombrat said, probably more like a $25 game. But there seems to be a lot to do. If oh hey, those guys are new. I don't remember seeing turkeys before.
Wait for it. Gotcha.
The advantage is ours.
Well, they went down just like the birds did, so good to go.
Did you find something?
I'm just kind of curious what's on top. Usually they reward you for going to high points. In this case, there doesn't seem to be anything up there that I needed to get. Too bad. I do appreciate that in games. Oh, there's something up here, just not all the way at the top. Oh, you know what? You haven't gotten to see the locking puzzle mechanisms. I wonder if there's one around here somewhere.
I always miss the commotion when there's no one around, don't you?
Some ruins
You're
down there.
planning
These
a
are always good
commotion
for a
all by
nice big
yourself.
fight. Anyway, the locking mechanism, there are these doors and chests. You know, like on the game, a bunch of the other games where you use the lockpick thing to pick the locks, and like everybody's stolen it from Bethesda since then. This one's new. They make you, you know, those slider puzzles where they have like one open slot and you slide the little pieces around until you either get the numbers 1 to 10 or whatever. This one makes you line up between 2 points like pipes, and then you open the lock that way by solving the puzzle. So kind of different, better than the standard old lock mechanic, I'll tell you that. Oh, by the way, when you fall, you don't really take damage as long as you've got enough of that parkour stuff. That meter there,
Stay
it'll
frosty.
take it all down
Got it.
from you, though, as you can see. By the way, Cuff will give you a look at enemies immune to being poisoned, right? So the Cuff gives you sort of a breakdown as to... Cuff's that little thing on your wrist, by the way. He's the one doing all the talking, and
Looks like everybody showed up.
I don't have a hold right now.
Do I have to?
Dude, the damage takes so much points out of my fun.
There it is. Got
There we
one
go.
for you.
Oh, he's bound by... It's all hidden. Oh, hello. I did not see you back there. Where'd he go? Stop it. Ah, wasted a good shot on him. Perch? Nope. Missed it.
What? Still not enough?
Nope. There's a guy that can finish. Boom! Oh, what's this? A little cutscene? Oh, they brought their... Oh, good. You might get to see me die. I've got a lot of draughts, though.
I think we may have brought friends running from miles around.
Great.
Time to start
Just what I
parkouring
needed.
around.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
It may look like it's all chaos and mayhem, but I actually am following along with what's going on.
Might I?
Dang it.
You're gonna love it. Oh, awful. Right in the sweet spot.
See how my Trendle thing actually got up there and got the bird too? Look at that. I got a reward.
That was straightforward enough.
Easy for
That was
you to
actually
say.
easier than I was hoping it would be. I was hoping it'd be a little harder. Oh well. Okay. Well, listen. I mean, other than like the locking mechanism and like the labyrinths and a couple of the other things that I can't really control because I have to find them to show you. There's not much else to talk about. Do I recommend the game? Combat's great. Everything else is sort of subpar. The story's subpar. The dialogue's subpar. But there seems to be a lot to do. If you're looking for a sort of mindless game you can get into, go around and
What do you
explore.
say? Little trip to the top?
Yeah, I'd buy it. I mean, I
Please,
wouldn't buy it for the
after
price it's
you.
at right now. I'd wait for a deal, of course. But the game has some potential. It's not a complete... Oh, did the game just lock up? Well, perfect. Well, I get to have that on camera, too. To be fair, I've seen this happen one other time. Once. In the whole 10 hours I've been playing. So, it does obviously happen. You see if the deck itself isn't locked up, of course. It's just the game. I think this is telling me that I've done enough of the live stream, so you guys had an opportunity to see the game in action. For those of you who joined in late, thanks everybody for coming, by the way. I appreciate it. Go back to the beginning. I talk about all the mechanics and all the different things that you can do. I appreciate you guys coming in. Again, game is not a complete waste of time, but hopefully you did not make the same mistake and buy it on day one. If you're looking for something else to play, Dead Space, the new Dead Space came out, the new Hogwarts is coming. We'll probably take a look. We've already taken a look at Dead Space ad nauseum, but we could take a look at the Hogwarts when it comes out. I'm gonna go ahead and exit the game. So there you go. Listen, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks again so much for watching. If you like the live stuff, leave some comments. Let me know what you think. If you'd prefer to just have me do the produced stuff and not do as much live stuff, I'd like that feedback as well. All right, thanks everybody so much for joining. I'm Shane R. Monroe. I am Dark Uni on Reddit. A lot of people don't realize I'm one and the same person. So appreciate you guys' support over there as well. I'm answering questions every day. So thanks again so much for watching. Take care.